Alright. I can't believe I'm making a video on this. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 is still not over. It is still going on. Okay, look, before I hop into it, I gotta give credit where credit is due. I think I said this last time when I had a video talking about Xenoverse 2 and the future of the series. But it is kind of cool looking back at it and realizing that Xenoverse 2 received 4 years of support. Well, it's not been fully 4 years, it's been like 3.5 years. But by the time this DLC comes out, it's gonna be roughly around the 4-year mark. 4 years! Think about that. 4 years of constant updates. There's free updates, there's paid updates. It is cool. You know, they did not get everything right. There was a lot that they got wrong with the game, you know, stuff that we hope to see fixed, like, for example, you know, modders being addressed, or stuff like, not even modders, they're like save data hackers, whatever it's called, or even stuff like, you know, them literally addressing the netcode and then nothing really changing. I mean, actually something did change, you know, I'll give them a little bit of credit. Essentially what they ended up doing is they made moves connect better or something like that, but didn't actually fix the netcode. It was like basically a giant band-aid on a big wound. But yeah, Xenoverse is continuing. It's funny because the last DLC that came out was supposed to be the last DLC. Even when you beat the mode, or like beat that fight at the end of that DLC, they even says, thank you for saving Xenoverse. See you guys next time. Like, they literally ended the game, and they somehow still figured out how to release more DLC. Now, in case you have no idea what I'm talking about, I'm sure you're going to see a bunch of videos coming out around this because it should be all over the Dragon Ball side of the gaming news. It's a big deal. But we're getting new DLC, which so far what was confirmed was we have more wigs. We're getting the Broly outfit from the Dragon Ball Super movie, as well as the wig, and I believe it was the Fury wig, so it's the black one that stands up, not like the one that's like normal. I don't know if we're getting both, but that's what it said. We're also getting the Supreme Kai of Time as a playable character. Now, it was kind of confusing at first. It said you're going to get a Parda version of her, so we all thought it was going to be the one from Dragon Ball Heroes. But no, it's the same one. It's the same model that's already in the game. They basically just made a playable. They gave her special attacks and stuff like that. That's coming out. It is not 100% confirmed what's going to be free / what's paid. It's just assumed right now we're going to get paid DLC along with it. The big one that we're getting is they're allowing us to customize potentially every single cast character. In case you guys don't know, but right now you can customize the partner characters, so people like Goku, Beerus, characters like that, like the ones that are basically your mentors. You can customize them, you can change the colors of an outfit, and then choose specific set of moves as well as Super Souls. But based on what the V-Jump scans are saying, you'll be able to actually also customize the other characters, and in specifics, they showed Gogeta as one potentially that you can, you know, change around. So it's assumed that means every cast character now in the game will be able to be customized, which I think is really, really cool. Because I mean, one of the many things that the game actually lacked was there were certain characters that were in the game whose moves were not added to that specific character. So for example, I don't remember if they actually fixed this or not, but like Majin Buu, for example, has the Angry Explosion that he couldn't actually use, if I remember correctly. It might be mixing up with another one, but it's something like that. Or like, I know the Angels, for example, didn't have like Dead End Rain, which is the attack that they used to kill future Gohan. So in theory, they're probably fixing that with this update. So you'll be able to change around specific characters. Kind of like how Raging Blast, remember Raging Blast series allowed you to like customize moves? Something like that. I don't know to what extent they're going to allow you to do that, or how quote-unquote balanced it will be, but that's one of the big changes that's coming, which I think is one of the cool ones. Now, something else I want to point out, on the bottom of the page, it showed like a Puar, like a baby Puar, or just maybe someone within Puar's race, and it said, who's this character? Find out in the next issue. They're definitely saving some more big news at some point. So, in fact, comment section below if you could choose any Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 character that you want to see released in the future. Who would that be and why? Pick 3. How about that? We pick 3. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is going to be full of people who want Dispos and Topos and stuff like that, which is at this point, and Pycons, which are like the only ones that come to my mind that are kind of missing in the game. I mean, you can also go into the extended universe, like Dragon Ball Heroes and stuff like that, but I don't know if they're going to go that far ahead. Something else is they're releasing Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, specifically 2, on the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. So people are speculating if they're going to change like the netcode and stuff like that. The answer is no. Usually when you release that game and you upgrade to the next console, they're not changing anything with the actual code itself. If anything, it's going to be a little bit more shinier. It might look a little bit prettier, but for the most part, I don't think much is going to change. Basically, we just allow you to play Xenoverse 2 on the next-gen consoles that are coming out later this year, which I think is cool. You know, I don't mind that. You know, Xenoverse is a fantastic game. Like I said, it has flaws. You know, we all had that situation where we sit down, we have a lot of fun with it, but then we get into that one fight where the netcode is horrible, or you know, you run into that cheap build that just makes you mad, and you throw your controller, you hate the game for 5 minutes, and then you come back to it the next day. That's kind of like the Xenoverse cycle. Xenoverse, like I said, it's a great series, but for the love of God, we want Xenoverse 3. Do me a favor, pause this video, go in the comments of this video and say, we want Xenoverse 3. Give me like your most unique version of that. Don't just say we want Xenoverse 3, like what I said verbatim. Give me your most funnest comment saying, we want Xenoverse 3. And let's see how many comments there are going to be in this video alone in regards to the support of Xenoverse 3. The game has sold 6 million copies now, specifically Xenoverse 2. And as a series, the game has sold over, or I guess the franchise, has sold over 10 million copies across the board. Which, you know, I mean, there's a lot of platforms. You know, we have from Xbox 360, PS3, PS4, Xbox One, the Switch. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if they, you know, pull a Skyrim and release it on everything, like the Game Boy and iPhones and stuff like that. Well, I guess they technically did release it on the iPhone, just under the name Dragon Ball Legends. It's the same company. But like look, I don't mind Xenoverse still getting a lot of support. You know, I think it's cool. You know, people still do play that game. But I think we're all to the point now where we just want that sequel. We want that next big arena fighter in a Dragon Ball universe. And I still stand by the fact that I don't think we're going to be getting Xenoverse 3 at least anytime soon. Maybe they might revisit the name at some point in the future. But like the theory that I have is I said this in my last video many months ago. We talked about this. I think the next Dragon Ball arena fighter is going to be something completely different and unique and refreshing, which I think is cool. You know, if they release Xenoverse 3, I'll be hella excited. I'll be one of the first people that, you know, me, Sirius will be hyped, will be behind 100%. But there's always gonna be that one percentage of me, of my brain, that's gonna be like, well, Xenoverse 3 comes out, will they really change anything? Will they fix stuff? And that's the big what if scenario. And at this point, I honestly rather them just completely redo it and give us a brand new series, because at that point, it's we don't know what to expect. I've always said this, one of the reasons why I hopped into the Dragon Ball gaming YouTube verse is because we always receive a different kind of game every single year. You know, since I've been on YouTube, we went from Battle of Z, we went from Xenoverse 1, Xenoverse 2, we've gotten Dragon Ball Fusions, we've gotten Fighters, literally like every game, Kakarot, every Dragon Ball game that's come out has always been drastically different from the next, not counting the sequels, because obviously the sequel is within the same like lane. But it was always cool to see like a different game come out every single year, and it was just exciting keeping up with that, you know. And then of course the game comes out, it's like, I hate this, I want to go back to the last game and stuff like that. I mean, that's just part of the spiel. I'd rather have the game be different every single time than always be the same one. And that's why I partially would love to see, you know, Xenoverse 3 not happen, and instead we get like another Dragon Ball Arena Fighter, because end of the day it'll be basically the same game, just it'll play slightly different, you know. I mean, at this point I feel like Bandai Japan specifically, they're the ones who make the games, they have enough data to know what makes the perfect Dragon Ball game. You know, they've given us Fighters, and Fighters is kind of like an actual fighting game with Dragon Ball skins on top of it, and that gives you like a chance to play a Dragon Ball game that requires a lot of thinking and skill, and like you gotta really like craft your skill to play that game, which is what I love about it. But they know stuff like that we like to see, you know. We want to see like creative characters. We want to see like the freedom of being able to fly around the map. Imagine the next Dragon Ball Arena Fighter gives us a map size the size of Kakarot. I know Kakarot wasn't everyone's favorite game, but like you gotta agree that the maps that you were in were massive. They were great. And imagine having like the next Dragon Ball Arena Fighter have maps that big, and be able to have you know, the best of both worlds from all the games that we've gotten over the course like the last decade really in the Dragon Ball realm. They can make the perfect Dragon Ball game at this point. They have the formula. They know what it takes. I think, to me, all it really takes the most is going to be, you know, figuring out that netcode. If you get a Dragon Ball game that has, like, really decent netcode, then that's it. That's it. You win. You succeed. And I think that's what it is. I think they probably, like, are working on that game, and hopefully we'll get that revealed at some point in the next year or so. I do want to point out, like, right now it is May 18th. When I'm recording this video, you're watching this on the 19th or at some point mid-May. And usually by now we would get revealed that the next big game is coming out. But you guys know E3 isn't happening with everything that's going on in the world. And honestly, I don't know what's going to happen this year as far as, you know, what they're going to reveal, if they're going to reveal anything. I mean, I know they got to always release like one game a year or something like that. I don't know how much that contract has changed since then, because if enough time passes, you know, Bandai could always lose a license, and then someone else can basically buy that license, and then that's it. Which might be a good or bad thing depending on how it actually goes. But point is we're right now in just that waiting period what's going to happen. And I personally don't think that Xenoverse 3 will be the next game that gets announced, because it doesn't make any sense. I mean, think about it. If they just announced Xenoverse 2 coming out on the PS5 and Xbox Series X, why would they announce Xenoverse 3? Nobody would buy Xenoverse 2 on the Xbox One X or the PS5. That doesn't make any sense. So I feel like, if you know, in fact, even if they're announcing that they're just porting the game to the next gen consoles, I don't even think we're going to be getting a big game next year on those consoles yet. Hope I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm just kind of like spitballing, trying to think out loud as I'm, you know, rambling and just kind of like coming off the news that I just saw upon waking up. Well, I saw it last time before I went to sleep, but like I just woke up and I'm really like kind of realizing, man, we're getting more Dragon Ball Xenoverse DLC. I don't know. We'll see what's gonna happen. You know, but of course, when the DLC comes out, I'm definitely gonna do more content around it. I know people have been asking me to do more Xenoverse videos. I just haven't had really the time to sit down and do more. So maybe based on the feedback we see in this video, maybe I'll try to do some Xenoverse content again later this week with like C-Reacts or something and bring that back for the one time, you know. And I ain't just for the one time, but every now and then. But overall, though, it's just crazy to see a game like Xenoverse 2 still getting support, despite all us being told that that's it in the last DLC, and here we are. So yeah. So comment section below, let me know your overall thoughts about the continuation of Xenoverse 2, how you feel about it coming out to next gen, what that even means. I mean, for all we know, maybe they might not even do, you know, another game, and instead their entire plan is going to be just to keep supporting Xenoverse 2 in the next gen consoles for like the next 2 years, release more DLC, because I mean, someone's buying it. The only reason why they're releasing all this content is because there's support behind it. They probably realize, why spend all the resources and time on making a brand new game or a sequel when we can just literally just update this game and people are still buying it. And maybe that's what it is. Maybe we should stop supporting the DLC so they do Xenoverse 3. I don't know. Give me your overall thoughts down below. I'll probably do a follow-up video based on what the community says, just to see, I don't know, where we all stand with this. But it's just right now, I'm just, it was surprising, it was confusing, and a little bit exciting, a little bit disappointing at the same time. It's just a little bit of everything. It's just emotions all around hearing this news coming out, and yeah. But let me know down below. But yeah, the second we find out any more in regards to what's going to happen with this DLC, as far as, you know, what's going to be paid, because there's always going to be something paid with it. You know, I feel like, you know, part of me thinks that they're releasing this DLC as a celebration because they sold 6 million copies. But then the other part of me thinks, well, wait a minute. If they're releasing this as part of like a celebration for 6 million, they're definitely going to sell something. They always do. They almost always do. So like I said, in the comment section below, give me your best guesses, what you think is going to happen, whether or not we get any DLC characters at all that are paid, or if this is all going to be just like a one-time thing and Xenoverse truly is done. We'll see what everybody says. But me, personally, I want them to do Xenoverse 3 specifically because I feel like they could set up a perfect custom created character war type of thing. Like I said this many years ago, but they could do something like the Time Breakers versus the Time Patrols. You know, you sit down, you create your character, you choose a faction to be either evil or good. It could be with Supreme Kai Time Trunks, or you could be with someone like Few, Demigra, all the bad guys of the Dragon Ball Extended Heroes universe. And then like from there, it's like there's so much you can do with that. Think about that. Comment section below. Last question I end this with: would you choose to be a Time Breaker or Time Patroller if they did Xenoverse 3? Let me know down below. But otherwise, as always, like I said, the second we find out more, I'll let you guys know. But for now, this is it. Thank you guys for watching. My name is Rhymestyle. I'll see you guys in the comments. Peace.